Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. As always, it's always exciting to be back with you guys. This is where we have thought provoking dialogue and conversations that inspire, empower, and provide tools to assist you in your personal and professional life. If it's your first time, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Welcome back. As always, please say hello down in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. Today, we have a special guest, everyone. We have an incredible and accomplished guest. She's an actress, a producer, and so please help me welcome Toya M. Nelson. Welcome, Toya.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Chrisnatha. How are you today?
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm doing great, and I'm really excited to talk to you. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. How are you doing?
I am well. I am well. I'm happy to be here. Feels good, Got
Yes.
into the week. The weekend was good, so I feel good.
Awesome. You look good too, girl.
You. Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. I'm loving the colors. I'm loving your hair. I'm loving your smile. I love it all. So, so once again, welcome. And I'm going to ask you a really interesting question first. And I know that it's a complex question because there's so many facets to who you are. So I'm simply going to ask you, who is Toya M. Nelson?
So Toya M. Nelson, who am I? I am a sister. I am a creator. I am a friend. And through all of those things, through all of my life experience, I show my art through those things. So through being a friend, I tell my stories and I write. I write and
Mhm.
produce my own stories about friendship, about, sisterhood. So
Yes.
that is who I am. I'm a creative. So I use life to create. Everything is a creative process. It's just what art form we decide to choose to tell our stories. So
I
yes,
love that. So is it fair to say, from your perspective, that life is that you are a student of life, right? That there's so many
yes,
aspects to learn from.
yes. I actually just told somebody that the other day because they were like, "Yeah, if you something we were looking at, I think it was for one of my films we wanted to submit for a film festival. They were like, if you're a student, I think you get a discount. I was like, well, I'm a student at life. Like every So could I get a discount for that? Because every day we are constantly learning and evolving and becoming better humans and better people. So yeah.
Awesome. I love that. And I'm a fellow creative myself. And one thing I love about people like you and I is that we're aware because that's such a beautiful way to learn. And the way that we do create, because we do pull from so many different places, is that we have to be aware in our own lives and also in our surroundings. So that's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I remember you just said that you love to write and you love to create. When did your love for writing begin? And was that the same time that your love for like acting began, or was that separate?
They were separate and it's all been a cumulative process. Like it's all been a journey, honestly, because as a child, I always wanted to write and said, I used to always think I'll be an editor in Vibe magazine or the Source magazine. Like that was one of my goals.
Mhm.
So writing and telling Black stories was always something that, I wanted to do. And then putting that in a more of a creative space, honestly, was in college when I always did like plays and stuff as a child, but in college, I took electives, acting 101 as an elective, and I was like, oh, I have to change my major. I was like, this is what I love. Like, this is what if I'm going to come here and spend $40,000, it should be on
Right.
something that like makes me want to go to class every day. So,
Yes.
I ended up changing my major, and through changing my major and through the theater arts program at North Carolina A&T, I found my love for managing theater through stage management and writing theater and writing stories and short plays and skits and sketches with my friends and, building sets and doing just every part of it, the design, the costume of it all, just through all of that. I kind of built my love through the arts from that theater program. Yes, because I learned every aspect. My professors did not play. We learned every aspect about creating, um, from business to, the very fine arts and dancing and, singing for the actor, things of that sort. So
I
really in
love
college
that.
is when I honed in on my craft.
I love that so much. And that's honestly why we go. We go to discover more of who we are and who we're going to become. So I think that's awesome and that's beautiful. Um, Another thing I wanted to bring up is that you did theater because you're also an actress, and so you did theater and you did some work off Broadway. What was that like? Tell us what that experience is like for those of us who don't know, but we want some insight.
Yes, New York was amazing. It's definitely a city that every day I'm like, why haven't I wrote this story yet? It's like living in New York. It was a love-hate relationship for me, and because it was a constant hustle and bustle,
Hmm.
and I didn't have time to really go to the auditions that I always wanted to go to. So there was one weekend where I was off and there happened to be an audition for Othello, the Panther. And I'm like, well, I don't know, you know, much. I haven't done Shakespeare since college. At this time, I had probably been out of college for maybe 2 years. And I'm like, I'm a little rusty. Shakespeare is something you got to stay on top of. So
Yes,
I was like,
absolutely.
I was like, I'm gonna audition anyway. And it was like I found out about the audition the day before the audition. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to prepare. As a theater
Mhm.
nerd, you want to make sure that you read your spark notes and you caught up on everything that Othello is about and what these soliloquies meant in this part. So I was just like, oh, but I still auditioned anyway. And when I showed up to the audition, the writer and producer, he was like, you know what, just drop the script. He's like, I just want you to say this word 10 different times. And so I did that. I gave him volume and inflection and, changed, my tone and, gave a little accent here and there on those 10 different times. And he was like, I'm going to cast you. And he cast me from that, um, and made me the understudy for Bianca in Othello. And so that was very exciting. And then I actually had to perform one night. So that was cool, in place of the actual character. And then from being the understudy, we had, of course, a large choir, like many Shakespearean pieces do. And I was, in that choir as well. So it was cool. It was a very great experience because in that experience is where I found my tribe. Like a lot of times in theater, we find we're working with those people every day and having rehearsal with those people often. So those are the people you connect with for a time period. And I was very grateful to have done that, like catching the train to and from
Mhm.
rehearsal and like even I remember I slipped on ice and living in
Oh
New
no.
York, twisted my ankle and had to sit out of rehearsal for like a week. And I was just like going through it. But my tribe checked on me and they made sure that when I came back, like I was taken care of and I was good. So it was just really exciting and exhilarating to do a play in New York and to finally, with all of the hustle and bustle, put that aside and say, this is why I'm here, to create
Mhm.
and to network and to work amongst the people, my peers that I love, and develop relationships and tell a story. We ended up telling Othello in a story that people could relate to
Yes,
out of the
absolutely.
setting. So it was taken from the setting of that time period and brought forward to the 70s. And so that was a
That's
story in
exciting.
itself. Yeah, it was a story of the Black Panther. We changed it from just Othello to Othello the Panther. And so it told the story of a Panther leader falling in love with a white woman and how that unfolded amongst his community. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. I think every artist should live in New York and just, if you have that opportunity, definitely take it. Take the
That's
opportunity to be
awesome.
a part of a project up there.
So I guess it is true what they say. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Like, yes, because I was like, oh my gosh, what is life up here? Like from twisting my ankle to like really, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I lived out of my car in New York for a time period. Like, New York was rough, so
Mhm.
it definitely builds a different type of character. Um,
Absolutely.
so so yeah, but it was cool. I think it was nice, and it definitely taught me a lot about who I am. But it was a story that needs to be written. I need to tell that story about living in
Absolutely.
New
No,
York.
I'm Toya, I'm so intrigued. You're telling me the story and I'm just like, keep going because like it's so good because a lot of times we don't think that our experiences are unique or special or we're like, oh, it's no big deal. But someone needs to hear that we didn't quit. And I'm just so inspired by you because a lot of times when people see other people living out their dream, they don't get to see the behind the scenes, and so
Yeah,
they see you on stage, but they don't know what it took for you to get there. And so
oh,
they say, hey, Toya did it. I can do it too. And they can, but they have to persevere, and there will be some tough moments. And then that's when you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want to do this? What am
yes,
I willing to do to get to the other side? So I'm super inspired by that. And it just shows your tenacity. It shows your stick to itness, if that's a word.
yes, it's a
you were
word. We
you
stick
were
to this.
determined to make it happen, and I love 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 to hear that. And you also said something about finding your tribe. It's so important to have community, and that's what I heard when you were just describing that, to have a group of people that can relate to you, number one, and then have your back.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's ever thought about moving to a new city, it's scary as heck. I've done it myself. I'm still here in Houston, Texas, and it's been 4 years and it's gone by quickly, but it was scary. But I found my tribe, and community really helps you.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. Another thing, you said that you were not prepared for the audition, but you went anyway. So that's just another, I'm just pulling all these lessons just from what you shared in your story, to say that, listen, sometimes you got to say yes and figure it out after that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Take a chance.
because
Take a
you have to take a chance. You just have to
chance.
take a chance. A lot of times we hold ourselves back from what we amazing things that we have no idea what could have happened if we just get started. Sometimes,
Absolutely.
especially being a creative, you're such a perfectionist, and it's like I'm sensitive about my like I don't want
Yes,
to let it
absolutely.
out. So it's like, should I like what if they don't like me? But it's like, no, you have to go out because that's what builds, that thick skin, so to
Yes,
speak.
it does. It does. It helps you see what you're made of, because sometimes you're like, there's no way I can do this, until you do it and you're like, huh, I can do more of this. Right. And it helps build your
Exactly.
confidence, and it helps just create a different you, so it's beautiful to hear. So thank you so much for sharing that. I hope that you do write about that a little bit more one day and we can read it and even watch it play out, because it's really really good. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, if you could please tell us about, because there you have a dinner theater, Conflicted,
Yes.
right? Which is written by you. If you could just tell us,
I'm just starring in the
you're
dinner
starring.
theater, yes.
Ah,
But
okay,
I
got it. You're
I
starring.
actually did not write it, but yes, the writers, oh my gosh, they are very amazing. Shout out to them.
Awesome.
Yes, they brought me onto this project. Tiffany and Redress and Latanya, they
Hmm.
are the writers. And they brought me along. I auditioned for it and they brought me along on. So I'm excited to be a part of this dinner
Awesome.
theater.
Tell
Yes.
us more about it if you could.
Yes. So the dinner theater, Conflicted, will take place in a restaurant where the play will take place in an intimate space. So I'm so excited to see how this is going to play out in Kennesaw, Georgia. It will be September the 18th through the 20th. And this play is about I play the character of the wife, a lawyer, a recovering alcoholic, and she is, attempting to get her family back. Her family is kind of like falling apart. My ex-husband is a therapist, and he counsels a group of women who are also dealing with their own struggles of life, and their stories are all kind of woven and connected together. Um, so yeah, so we just watch how the story unfolds throughout the night as you come and enjoy dinner. So
I
it's
love
exciting.
that. I
Yes.
love fusing like dinner and theater together. That's actually pretty cool. For those of you who are not in Georgia, um, listen, I believe that this is worth traveling for. So if you can get there, September
Yes.
18th to September 20, get there. I'm actually going to put up the link so that you guys can know where to grab your ticket.
Yes,
It
we
is
are
scrolling at
on
the bottom.
Eventbrite.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
So
this
it's
is
scrolling at
like
the bottom
the
of the screen, dinnertheaterconflicted.eventbrite.com. And I want you guys, if you're in that area or if you can get to that area, to make sure that you grab your ticket so you can experience Queen Toya as well as the other actresses and actors as well. And Toya, we want to stay connected with you. So what's the best way? Where can we find you? Where on social can we find you? How can we stay connected?
you can find me on all social media at Toya M Nelson. So that's on Instagram at Toya M Nelson, Facebook Toya M Nelson, Twitter Toya M Nelson, Snapchat, TikTok. I'm actually on TikTok under Finesse Queen Show, or Finesse Queens. That link is also in my bio on Instagram. But Finesse Queen Show is a show that I wrote and produced, and that is available on our website, finessequeenshow.com. But you can check that out and watch that. But yeah, that is how you stay connected with me. I look forward to connecting with everybody. I like working and building, and so let's connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, Toya, let's get connected with her on all social media platforms and let's grab our tickets to the dinner theater. Let's go see Conflicted. Let's really enjoy the experience that has been prepared for us. So, I'm excited. I'm not in the area, but if I happen to be during that time, I will be there. Toya,
Yes, I love
thank you.
Houston too. When I'm in Houston, I'm gonna have to hit you
Oh,
up. Houston
please.
is a beautiful place. I just recently
Yes.
went for the first time this year, and I was like, "Oh, I can see how you would find your tribe there eventually." And
Yes, beautiful city,
yeah,
great city, great people. So, yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for just making some time to hang out with us here in the Masterpiece Lounge. So, we appreciate you. You can come back anytime. So,
awesome.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. All right, bye bye.
Bye,
Enjoy.
everyone. Take care and stay blessed.
I look forward to seeing y'all at the dinner theater.
Grab your tickets, guys.